I've been posting content on Instagram for 3 months now, and I just hit 10,000 followers. So today I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. I also recently made my first $1,000 from content and got my first influencer brand deal and have a few others in the pipeline. So here's how I did it. Hello. So my name is Catherine. I am the founder of Anja Health. We help pregnant parents freeze stem cells from their umbilical cords and placenta to use for potential future disease treatment in the family. For context, I previously built out another social media following for my company. I have 160,000 followers on a TikTok account. Our Instagram has 30,000. Our YouTube has 8,000. We also have a podcast and a newsletter and all these different forms of media. But I thought it would be a different type of thought experiment for me to be able to gear media towards myself and what I can personally optimize for as a personal brand. So my goal was to get to 10,000 followers and start making money from content. And I basically structured the time period like it was Y Combinator, the best startup accelerator that I went through in 2022. So I wanted to have 3 dedicated months towards doing content to see what I could potentially get out of it. This past May, I actually appointed a new CEO for the company. I have other videos behind that decision, but because of that, I decided to turn my attention towards basically doing social media, at least for the interim, before I decide what to do next, because I love making social media content. And I thought it would be a really interesting thought experiment to structure my day around building out a following. So a lot of people ask me how I come up with ideas to post about. Well, basically you should create the following matrix with these axes that I'm going to discuss. And then you should fill them in according to what you feel most excited about talking about. Like if it's the type of thing where you could just have a conversation with someone for many, many minutes and just you're talking for 30 minutes or so or more without having to look up anything or script anything. And it's just things that inherently spark your curiosity. Okay, so here's the matrix. Okay, so my first tip to building out an immense following is to basically be completely shameless and experiment through every single niche that you can think of. So you need to create a big list of all the niches that you really like. And then you need to commit to posting 3 videos a day for 30 days. I committed to the 30 days, but I ended up doing 2 months because I wanted to basically post 3 videos a day until I hit 10,000 followers. And that took me about 2.5-ish months. I took a little bit of a break because I was traveling, but I was basically experimenting through sociology, self-help, startup hacks, basically any big lesson that I've ever learned in my life. I tried to turn it into a piece of content, and also any piece of advice that I've heard that was either extremely outlandish or that drastically changed the course of my life. I knew that it would light me up to speak about it. And I think that that's what makes the best kind of content, is when someone can basically speak about it without a script. Like even this video, I have some bullet points that I am going off of, but for the most part, I can just kind of speak about this because it's what I genuinely love. And I feel like it lights me up in a way that makes for really good organic content. Okay, so if you're thinking about all of the different video forms that you can experiment with, number one is the type of content that you are discussing and the scripts that you're making. But another axis on the types of content experiments that you can do is format. So there's basically talking head like this, but imagine vertically. There's also a vlog format that I've been experimenting with. And I realized the key to doing this vlog format is basically alternating between clips of your face and clips that don't show your face. But ideally your face is in every single clip because people follow you to see your face. And also every clip has to be 0.8 to 1.5 seconds long in order to cater towards our ADHD viewers. And then there's also a trending audio format that I experimented with, but I don't like those as much because I think people don't really get a sense of your personality and kind of format those as memes. And I'm not as good at making meme content, but I think it's an interesting format to experiment with. Okay, another axis of content experiments is editing styles. So as I got deeper into content, I started observing the different audios that people were using, for instance, like a pop or a link click sound, or like the types of music that people were using, depending on the different types of video formats. So that was also something that I started to be really in tune with. So once you have all the different axes of the different things that you personally feel excited about trying, then you just need to get in front of a camera and do it. So once you've filled in the matrix, then you have to commit to posting. So set a consistent cadence for yourself. For me, it was posting 3 short form videos a day for 30 days and 1 long form video a day for 30 days, or at least filming it. I didn't necessarily have to edit it and get it out there in the same day, but generally I did. But you have to just have a committed cadence. And I actually extended my short form cadence because I wanted to be able to hit 10,000 followers. And not only do you have to commit to posting within a given cadence, but you also have to commit to posting really high quality videos. Let me tell you why. In the beginning, it's okay if your quality bar is a little bit low, but I think what I started to realize this time around that I'm doing content is that the quality bar is much higher than it was in 2021 when I started doing TikTok content for my company. Like I used to just hold my camera like this, no microphone. I had like a somewhat small ring light and I was kind of shaking the camera usually, and I had no makeup on. But now I think there's so many people posting content, especially short form video content, to the degree that going viral is not even a novel concept anymore. Like pretty much everyone you know has gone viral once, probably on some kind of platform. But remember the days when people used to go on the Ellen show because they had a viral moment, and like it was so novel to go viral. But now people are going viral left and right, and it's because there's more content being put out and more content being viewed. So you can stand out by having a really high quality bar. So these are some things that I started to do to institute this new quality bar. Number one, good lighting. If you can see here, I have these like giant lights that I got in addition to a tripod. And I have this makeshift tripod set up because the tripod lurches a little bit. So I actually put this knife underneath the tripod. There we go. So that it would be upright. And I do my makeup every day. I especially include powder because powder diffuses light, so it makes your look seem more matte. I got a microphone. I wear really nice, bold colors and things that are put together. I always wear earrings. Like I literally get more dressed up to film content than I do to go to dinner with my friends. Like this is the makeup look that I wear to weddings and like formal occasions. And I do the same thing every day for my content. My next growth hack is spending 95% of your content planning time on hooks. I think that the first 3 seconds of the video ends up determining your watch time. It determines your reach. And a lot of creators honestly don't say anything particularly novel during their videos, but their hooks are just so good that people are so inclined to listen to what they have to say, and they end up growing as a result. There are also some videos that I personally have seen where the hook was so good it made me think they were going to say something important. I saved it, didn't even finish watching the video, never ended up watching it again because nobody goes through their bookmarks, but the hook was just absolutely amazing. So I think the hook is absolutely essential. There's so many hook lists that live online at social.unicorns, in my opinion, make the best hook lists. They study social media and they publish all these hook lists. And if you actually start analyzing hooks on videos online, usually people use all of the same hooks. So while I don't think you should plagiarize work, I think you can get the general idea and inspiration from other pre-existing videos and hook lists like the ones that social.unicorns post. And it's really, really important to have a really solid hook. All of this is to say that I'm talking about verbal hooks. You should also think about visual hooks. I'm not as good at the visual hook part because I feel like a lot of really, really good visual hooks are like you're standing at the edge of a building, but that's just not me. And I prefer to have like all my lights and stuff. So I more so stick to the verbal hooks, but I think eventually if I was starting to really get into content, I would also include the visual hooks. So after you've locked in your matrix, the quality and the cadence of your posting, the last step that you need to do is get over the mental hurdle of posting content. I feel like a lot of people have messaged me asking how I got the confidence to start posting content. And some of my friends have even commented that it's really brave that I want to post on Instagram. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you really sit and think about what you think about when you're scrolling through social media, you will realize that you don't think about any given person posting on social media for maybe more than 5 seconds. And people just really don't care. And the downside to posting online is actually very little, but the upside could be potentially very high. Like since I started posting on social media, I have now gained 10,000 followers. I've made a lot of new connections with really interesting people. I've made over $1,000 personally, which I'm going to make another video about. So you need to have the confidence to start posting. And I think Instagram is the best place to start because Instagram is having a moment right now that's very similar to TikTok in 2021. And also the best way to embolden your personal confidence about posting online is to actually post on trial reels. So once I had all of those axes of different content forms and my quality bar was really high, then I just started filming 3 videos a day and I would basically post them on trial reels. So trial reels is this new feature on Instagram where you can post videos to your non-followers and the reach is somewhat limited. Like I've never had a trial reel get more than 10,000 views and typically it only breaks like let's say 1,000 views ish. So the reach is limited than if you just push it to your feed. But I think it was a really good way for me to feel liberated about testing content forms and I could get a gauge of what would perform well. So I think the fact that I had trial reels really liberated me to feel like I could do literally anything under the sun. Like I would make some videos that a lot of my friends called unhinged and I just wouldn't push them because I was talking about really, really hot startup takes, for instance. But I think that the creation of trial reels is a really good way to dip your toe in the water. I feel like a lot of people don't post online because they're scared of how they're going to be perceived. And especially Instagram, it's like the most curated platform. So I think people feel the most scared to post on Instagram. But I swear to you right now, Instagram is having the same type of virality that TikTok did in 2021. Now TikTok is really saturated. It's much harder to grow, but Instagram is having a moment right now where there aren't that many people posting yet because they're still scared of posting. And if you do post, you'll grow really quickly. So I think that's why I hit 10,000 followers first on Instagram before even YouTube and TikTok, even though I'm posting the same content across all platforms. So on that note, I think another way to really grow on social media is to cross post across platforms. I think you do have to be really conscious of how you're repurposing the content. For instance, I've been thinking about putting my videos on Twitter, but I feel like Twitter has a totally different user mindset than people that are viewing Instagram Reels and TikToks. So I'm going to have to put a little bit more thought into how I'm going to repurpose those videos specifically on Twitter. But overall, I do think cross-posting is a good way to grow. And because I was kind of in this mode of cross-posting and testing different types of content, during my initial 30-day sprint of doing 3 videos a day, I also committed to doing 1 YouTube video a day. So I would do 1 long form, 3 short form, and I did that for 30 days. Then I did another 30 days of more 3 short form videos a day, and I stopped doing the YouTube stuff. Then I hit 10,000 followers. Now I'm kind of resuming the YouTube stuff and assessing what my cadence is. Now for short form, I've kind of lowered the cadence to 1 short form video a day. And I actually, now that I've hit 10,000 followers, I feel like I kind of know what's going to perform well. And I also just feel like if I'm putting so much time and energy into editing a video, I might as well just push it. So I don't even use trial reels anymore. I've just kind of gained confidence in my own taste and my own voice, and I want to get it out there. And I want people to see my art. I feel like art is meant to be viewed. So I think trial reels is a really good way to help give you some confidence, but at a certain point, you can take off the training wheels and just go. So now let's move on to actual growth hacks that helped me. After you commit to doing the high volume of content and you really just get your endurance up and you kind of start training the muscle of doing content, then you can start instituting growth hacks. So one growth hack that I think is really crucial is to double down on what works. So for me, I was getting a lot of traction with videos related to Y Combinator because it's a really excellent startup accelerator. I think a lot of people want to know how to get into Y Combinator, and my YC videos were doing really well across all platforms. Like on YouTube, it's my highest viewed YouTube video. So I just started doubling down. Every single niche that I could think of within Y Combinator, I would basically try to create that kind of video. I did like a 15-part series on how to get into YC, reading my YC up aloud. I talked about how to nail the interview, etc. And I asked ChatGPT for just different variations of how I could basically say the same concepts around how to get into YC, and I followed those. So I would definitely double down on what works. But if at a certain point, even though YC videos consistently performed well for me, I felt like I was getting tired of talking about it. And I think people can see that in your content when you don't feel excited to talk about something. So if you feel that, it's okay to follow your heart rather than your mind. You don't really have to go by what the views and the likes are telling you. You should just talk about what you feel the most lit up about. I mean, I think that people always say that about everything in life, but I feel like with content in particular, people can sense inauthenticity. So if you're not excited about it, it won't perform well. Don't do it. Okay, another growth hack that I have is I mention something personal about me in every single video. Like even if I'm talking about some abstract sociology concept, which is a niche that I've started to double down on, especially in my vlogs, I try to include some tidbit about my personal life so that people learn something about me within every single video. And I think that almost helps to facilitate this sort of high engagement, almost parasocial relationship that really allows influencers to cultivate the sense of community on their pages. And I think it gives viewers something to identify with when it comes to the creator. So I feel like that was always something really important to me that I was looking to do. Another growth hack is to have lead gen magnets in your caption. So for instance, if I was talking about how to get into YC short form video, then in the caption, I would say, comment the word app and I will DM you my full accepted application to Y Combinator. And then I would basically send them a link to one of my YouTube videos. And I just realized because I have so much content out there across many different platforms, I can kind of cycle it and promote content across other platforms. And for a little bit, I had the assumption that people were tired of hearing the same thing from me because I was posting like the same exact YC topic on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I just started a Substack, etc. But I actually have started to think to myself that people prefer different platforms. So for instance, people that like to read things, they might not like to watch things. My friends that are really active on Twitter are generally not active on Instagram. So you might as well keep repurposing the same ideas if you know what works. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And then finally, my last growth hack is, especially when you're first starting out, don't script your videos. Just set up your camera with all the quality standards that I mentioned and then just start speaking. I think especially when you're first starting out and trying to figure out what kind of content you like to make, it's really important that you feel passionately enough about the topics that you're talking about and you're knowledgeable enough about the topics that you're talking about that you can just talk about it without any prompting. So in the very beginning of me doing content, I would set up my camera, speak for 5 minutes straight, then chop it up. A lot of my viral videos were literally just me talking and they were completely unscripted. And I think having that more organic feel is really what goes viral these days. You basically have to imply that you are having the organic thoughts as you're saying them. And I think that that kind of content does the best. Alrighty, so those are all my tips, mostly specific growth hacks, but I think the real key to getting to 10,000 followers is maintaining a sense of consistency and trying to discuss things that light you up and make you feel passionate, because that's what people are most receptive to. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Content is either meant to educate or entertain. So as you're filling out your matrix, also consider whether or not your content is educating or entertaining others and whether or not it educates or entertains you. Thanks so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting another video on how I made my first $1,000 and got my first influencer deal. So I think that is also pertinent to this conversation. So check out my channel for that video.
Trying to be all that I can be for you.